Okay, friends, here it is. This is a first for me. My very first online selfie sermon done on a Friday evening. So, nothing if but changing with the times. That's who we are at St. James Santee. Nothing if not changing with the times. So, good morning, good evening. I hope you found your way to our worship today and that you're enjoying it someplace peacefully online. And as I was reading the readings for this week, we have this incredible gospel in John where they come up to Jesus and they say, "Jesus, why is this man blind? Who sinned, his parents or himself?" And Jesus says he was not born blind because someone sinned. He was just born blind. It just happened because there's sin in the world, because I allowed it to happen, because sin is everywhere. And so he was born blind. But it wasn't his fault or his parents' fault. It just is the state of our world. How true is that for us today? It's nobody's fault that we are dealing with a pandemic. It is not my fault or your fault. You certainly cannot fault those who get it as having sinned more or retribution for the sins of their parents. It just is. This just is. We are a broken and fallen world and a broken and fallen people, and God allows us in our free will to experience some brokenness and some hard times. Now, Jesus tells the people that he is the light of the world, and that even though his man has suffered for many years blind, and people even know him as sort of a withered looking man outside of the temple, that Jesus will be the light and Jesus will heal the man. And then he spits on some mud. Can you imagine? Just spits on some mud and his eyesight is revealed. Now, I don't know what kinds of healing we need at this time. I know that there is probably spiritual healing and physical healing and emotional healing that all need to happen right now. And what I can promise you is that although God has allowed this time to happen, Jesus is still the light of the world. And in this time, his love and light can and will be revealed. That's just all there is to it. If he can spit on some mud and bring back sight, certainly he can reveal God's love in a broken pandemic world now. Our psalm for today tells us that Jesus is the good shepherd and that Jesus knows his sheep, and that he will lead us beside still waters and through dangerous places and into the green, green grass. Jesus does not want this brokenness for us. He does not want us separated. He wants us to be a community of believers. And so in every time that we find a virtual way to connect, or we find our family and friends through a phone call or a hug from immediate family, we are finding connection with the love and light of God. God promised that as the shepherd, he would lead us through the troubled, dark times and beside again the cool, still waters and the green, green grass. God did not promise that we would never have hard times. Of course, we are going to have hard times. That is a token of free will. But we also have full love, full guidance, full healing, full acceptance, full grace, and full mercy. And nothing can ever separate us from that. So I hope that this message of God's hope and love and healing has restored your spiritual faith this morning. Maybe, perhaps, read the story again and see if you can hear it and find God's guiding light even in the midst of our darkest hour. Perhaps even this blindness, this darkness, this time of despair might become a way for God to reveal even more of himself to us. That is my prayer for all of you, and know that I am here anytime you need me or want to talk, and every morning on Zoom. If you need more information, let me know. I sounded like an infomercial just then, but I feel like if you've watched for the whole 6 minutes, maybe you're into that. Okay.